Sintonícense
todos los jueves
a las 11 de la mañana
en Café con Leche
con Juju
y Ana en self-advocacy Radio.
Let's go. Bienvenidos mi gente, ¿cómo están?
Mi gente, bienvenidos a Café con Leche. Ya saben, estamos aquí invitándolos a que se sintonicen y escuchar una programación muy especial que les tenemos.
Bueno, hoy tenemos dos invitados especiales. Déjenme hacerle la pregunta a ellos. Bueno, I'm going to start asking the questions, then I'm going to ask you guys, and you take turns to answer, but it goes for both of y'all, right?
Okay.
The first one is, if you don't mind, can you give us a brief introduction of yourselves?
Is that for him or for me?
It's for both of you, but
Okay. Well, I'll start. Peace. My name is T.A. When I say that I've been in a lot of trouble, it's not to glorify the things that I've been through. I've been getting in trouble since I was 11 years old. I've done everything from shoplift to homicide, right? At 26, I had life in prison. And for the first 4 or 5 years, I walked around the yard like I was actually going home until it was an old timer who pulled up on me. And he told me some knowledge. And that's what I want to import to your listeners and everything, right? That I went to the law library, I learned the law, I got myself out of jail, and in the process I've helped, I really don't know how many, I know hundreds stop from going to jail, and I've helped hundreds get out of jail. You know, that we're in a place right now where our youth need to know critical and consequential thinking. You know, I'm going to let you hear from my brother now.
Well, basically, is what he said. I began getting in trouble at an early age. I ain't gonna say no exact year or whatever.
Shit, you was with me. What are you talking about?
I was gonna ask that. You know,
Okay, so yeah.
let us know a little deeper. You know, around how old are you guys? These are some old timers in the building,
right.
y'all. Let me tell you.
So the shoplifting part, we used to have stolen cars, go to the supermarket. What was it? What's the name of that?
Pathmark.
Load the shopping cart up with meat and steak and all that, right?
Yeah.
And run straight out the door, dump that shit in the trunk and pull off.
Yeah.
So that's the shoplifting part. But likewise, I got arrested at 17 for a murder that I did not commit. And while on Rikers Island, I too started learning the law. I worked in the law library in C-74 for like 18 months. I think I stayed on the island for maybe 30-something months. I was convicted and sentenced to 25 as a minimum and life as a maximum. But I had a team of people, including my brother.
Correction, you had a team of brothers.
Okay, that's true. Team of brothers. And we worked with my lawyer to get my case overturned right then and there. And I was released and I went out into the street, and jail didn't scare me, so I started selling drugs. And, you know, running the street and stuff like that. And eventually what stopped me was I moved up the criminal ladder or whatever, and a young man that was my brother at that time said I gave him 40 kilos of cocaine in Los Angeles, California to bring back to South Carolina. And that's when I got arrested by the federal government for possession with intent to distribute the 40 kilos. And when I got out, I said I can't keep doing this. Because it don't work. Not at every time you turn around, you sitting in the penitentiary cell. So,
Just let me take it.
Go ahead.
That we was not successful criminals.
That's my point.
Right.
That if you go to jail, you are not successful.
That's right.
Right,
You know,
the lowest court.
and like we've both made a lot of money in our life, right? But all the money I made wasn't worth one day of me being in that cell, you know. And this is to the youth, man, like, you don't know what jail is. It's not war kill, it's not Washington or them joints that got microwaves and air conditioning. That's not jail.
Is it Clinton, Attica?
Clinton,
Talk about
Attica,
it. Please talk about
Dannemora, all these places. If there's a wall that's keeping you in and they lock that cell at night,
It's,
then you need to say what the astronauts say. Houston, we have a problem. And that's for real, man. You know, I've seen dudes lose their life over a cigarette.
It could happen.
You know,
in the
I've
real
seen young men get raped.
Right.
Like this is some, like, this is what I tell the youth today. The thugs lock in at night, man. Thank God some of them are in jail. And that's for real, man. I've been
Why would you say that?
around murderers who have no regard for human life,
at
man.
all.
You know, and what's going on in these streets today is mind-boggling because there's no money involved.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this, and we talked about it before. Do you think mental health has a role in all that?
This is what I
Undiagnosed.
believe. This is what I believe.
What?
Generational trauma.
Yes.
Part of it too.
Yes.
Generational trauma.
Right.
The things your grandmother said to you when you was a child, it plays a part in your life today. And that's where the generational, and this goes back hundreds of years. Just don't think, because I say grandmother, that that's the beginning of it. No, that we've been suffering through trauma for hundreds of years as black people
Yes.
in America,
So
man.
it's in our DNA kind of sort of.
It's in our DNA.
Yes.
Believe
Right.
that.
Yes, I
Believe
do.
that. You know. But you know, to go back to what you were saying, okay. Man, I get going when
I know that's right. This is deep.
Long window.
Yeah, I'm definitely, man, because I'm serious about what I
Right.
say.
All right. But now, on the topic, before we get to the next question, when you say generational trauma and grandmothers, right? I'm 61 years old.
You that old?
Yeah.
I wish I would have had some uncles like y'all growing up.
I'm 61 years old. I ain't gonna lie about that. But my point is going to your last statement was generational trauma. My grandmother was at least 40, 50 years older than me. You understand? So when you talk about handing down generational trauma, my question to you is, at what age are the grandmothers today?
That we have no more big
Talk
mamas.
about it.
We have no more big mamas. Just let me throw
That
this
is so
out here.
true.
Give me some
This,
numbers.
this is what,
That is so
look, the grandmother today is 43, 44 years old. She's hanging out with the daughter. The daughter is hanging out with her child,
That's
and
what
not
I
just
want.
that.
That's what I want.
And they smoke together. They finger pop to the same music. You know, that I come from a household. Children should be heard, not seen. You know, so when my grandparents had company, get your motherfucking
You know where to
ass
go.
in that room.
One look and you know what to do.
You know, and it wasn't high Cynthia, it was high Miss Cynthia.
The respect.
It was the
Right.
respect
It's
factor,
It's gone.
right? That a village raised
Of
us.
course.
A village. It wasn't, that the type of work I do. I work with the youth, stop the violence and put the guns down. Right?
Beautiful.
I've heard kids tell their mothers SMD.
Oh my goodness, Jesus.
Yeah. And the mother accepted, right? And I said, well, I see what the problem is. You want to be your child's girl. You don't want to be his parent. You want to be his girl. Because if we would have said something like that back when I was 14, 15 years
Would have had no teeth.
that skillet would have hit me so
I still ain't got no
fast.
teeth.
Baby. Yes.
And like
You know
this
it.
is what this is about, teaching.
Yes.
Teaching, that's what I want to do. You know, like I've gained so much knowledge in this 60 years, right? And this gonna be the first and last time I say I'm 60, right? Because I'm actually
Beautiful.
40, just in case you know.
Baby, I got you.
All right. No, seriously though, right? We have to teach our youth to respect their elders, but
Right.
most of all, to respect themselves.
Yes.
Got a difficult job in front of you.
we got a hell of a job in
Right.
front of us. But if they tune on the Anna and Juju's joint, then we gonna teach them something.
Face the reality radio. Let's go. You already know.
All right, let me let you go ahead. Go ahead to the next one.
Hold on, wait.
Give it to why.
Are you sure you have nothing else you say right now?
No, I actually
We're gonna keep this flowing, guys, because I know
Yeah.
that the message you guys brought today for us is gonna fill a lot of hearts and knock a lot of fucking sense into these knuckleheads out here, because it's needed.
Just as I said before we started, I thank Anna and Juju for having us on here. You know,
Likewise.
and that we got a podcast called The Law Library.
Awesome.
Okay.
So how did that law library come about?
That's his question.
Okay, I just was talking to one of my nephews. The law library came about, I had this concept maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
And he had the same concept because I work on cases from my desk at home or whatever. Federal cases, me and work on state cases together. He'll do the research and I write the brief. So one of my nephews, Nut, came to me. He said, "Yo, you know, podcasts was happening." I said, "Hey, podcasts, I used to see with somebody telling on somebody when they did some shit." And that's the ones I was seeing.
That's real though.
Yo, Rah and Lefty had a shootout on something in 150th Street. I was like, oh my God.
That's not telling what it is.
So I was like, oh my God. But my nephew said, no, man, with the stuff that you're doing, we could put it on film. You don't have to put no names and none of that, no locations and none of that. So we tried it. We went up to the courthouse. We shot an episode or two, but I had no outlet because I didn't know really about social media and stuff like that. So I just never gave up. I said, no, I need some help. So I told my brother, I said, look, I need you to come in with me, and we need a source or an outlet to get this message out there.
Yes.
So we just breaking ground on it now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The most needed.
Yeah, it's definitely needed, you know. But
Teach people their rights and all
this
that.
is that I feel we have an obligation.
Yes.
Anybody that's younger than you have a message for them.
Yes.
You know, shorty, slow down. Excuse me, young lady, stop disrespecting yourself.
But you know why that stopped? Because them same shorties with what I say is mental health issues, I turn around and pull a gun out. Mind your business, old head. Mind your business. That's the attitude.
And that has scared the elderly, right? But this is my thing. And think about it. We're dealing with the crack babies of crack babies.
And it's
That's
mental
what
health.
we're dealing with, right? It's mental health, it's trauma, it's the lack of opportunity. It goes so deep, man, right? And don't nobody want to talk about it.
Yes.
Well, we will.
You damn right, I will.
Yeah, we know that already.
I will. You know, like, yo, this is serious, man. Like, you know, 34 years ago, the rappers made a record called "We're Headed for Self-Destruction."
And we're there.
If we don't do something right now to try and teach the youth, we outliving the youth, man.
Yeah.
I've been to 25
noticing.
funerals this year, man.
25?
25 funerals.
Oh, that's disgusting. Of people younger than you, OG?
22,
Oh my God.
13,
Babies.
17.
Babies.
I thank God the child didn't die, but I went to 198th Street and Valentine Avenue when an 11-month-old baby got shot in the face. The bullet came out of the back of her head.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like
crazy,
at
right?
what point did it become fashionable to shoot our children? You know, and this is what I told the dudes up there. Y'all a bunch of punks, man.
It's true.
Because if the police don't catch that dude, then I really don't know what would happen. You know, but that's the era I come from. You better go turn your goddamn self in, man. You harmed a child. You know. Now it's fashionable on Rikers Island because of the gang mentality, right? Let me say this. New York used to be trendsetters. The rest of the country followed what we did.
Yes.
As far as dress, walk, talk,
Music, everything.
everything. And look, I don't knock hip hop because I like it. I really like it. And I understand that when certain rappers say certain shit, it's just a verse.
But it also influences kids.
Exactly.
No, because they can't distinguish reality from fantasy. And I don't say no to say that you're wrong, bro. You know, but it's just crazy, man. It's crazy, and someone needs to say this here, man.
All right. What's the next question?
That's right. Talk about it.
No, I ain't
Talk about it. Well, I really wanted you guys to kind of share one of the most impacting experiences of your whole prison life. Like, what was the most traumatizing thing you ever saw?
Saw or experience?
Experience. How about experience?
In my experience, now let me just say this. I told y'all about in and out of prison, right? Now, unlike anybody else watching BET,
yes, because they think it's a movie.
Yeah, playing basketball, wasting time, sitting around the day room watching TV. On 3 different occasions, I was planning my escape.
Oh shit! different.
So, the first one, was when I had the murder charge in Rikers Island. Somehow, some way, a number of hacksaws got into the jail. They said that I was the influence of getting them in there. And some of those windows are plastic. Somebody said, I had the people standing there burning the hole in the plastic in the window so the hacksaw could go through the window to cut through the bar. And I actually got out the jail.
Oh, Lord.
Right? But when I seen the razor wire, the barbed wire, and I thought about it was in the wintertime, right? And everybody kept saying that, what's that, the East River and all that? Yeah. A lot of people drowning there. Yeah. I said, yo, let me go back in my cell.
You hear this knuckleheads out here, please, man. Stop this violence. Stop killing each other. Stop volunteering for this fuckery, man, please. Right. I beg ya.
So that was one of the first. I'm going to tell you the last one. The last one was in a jail in the South. The feds moved you around or whatever. I told you the boy came to South Carolina. So I got locked up in North Carolina. And they took me back to South Carolina. So I'm looking around at the jail and I'm like, how long this motherfucker been here? They said, oh, the jail 250 years old.
Oh shit.
I said, what? So I started thinking, right? I said, them screws gotta be rusty. they gotta be fucking rusty, right?
I can't.
So I said, yo. Another window. You can fish in what you want. If your girl's down to bring it to you or whatever. So, damn, some more hacksaw blades got up in there. I was like, I've seen this shit before.
So is it safe to say the hacksaws follow you wherever you go?
So anyway, the officer, they walk on the catwalk, right? So I said, damn, how can he got the keys on him? I said, I want them goddamn keys. Fuck the hacksaw. He got the key to get up out of here. So a Caucasian gentleman that I looked out for, everybody wanted to jump on him. I said, yo, play sick. They're gonna open the door. When they open the door, just get out the way. I'm gonna take care of it from there, right? So it was like 3 other dudes. He came in, he told me, yo, see, I'm sick. So he came in. When he came in, bomb. Who's out? Bomb. Right? Get the keys. Now listen to this dumbass shit. Get the keys. Get the keys, right? And the goddamn keys ain't even to the back.
Oh my God.
So I'm saying, man, we gotta get up in that booth. So if the guard take too long, they're supposed to come look for him. What I didn't know from the other door when he came in looking for him, he left the keys in the booth, the ones I was trying to get to. So he slams the door, he comes in there, I said, damn, what I'm gonna do with these 2 motherfuckers now? So they said I stomped him out, and state police, local police, and the correction officer emergency team came in.
Oh, Lord.
And they took over because we started fires and
Oh, my Lord, have mercy. You started a riot.
That was
Pretty
one
much.
of the charges, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So that didn't work. And
Damn, uncle.
no, but look, listen. The dudes that they charged me as the ringleader, and they charged the other participants, right? But the other participants said I didn't have nothing to do with it.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And
That's real.
the Fed said if you plead guilty, because we know you had something to do with it, take the federal charge and don't worry about the state charge. We'll dismiss the state charge. Because the government is the government.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
They design all this fuckery. They do.
Right. So, yeah.
And it's not designed for us. And this is what our community doesn't really like get it through their heads. This shit is not designed for us to succeed or really reap of anything beneficial. And that's what we really constantly need to fight and be informed. Like, we really gotta wake up.
That's what it is. It's information.
Yes.
It's knowing information. Let them
Gotta
say
break
this.
that chain.
60 years ago, jails in New York and in all these other states was predominantly white. They was
Talk about it,
predominantly white,
please.
right? And the 70s came after the Vietnam War and shit, and brothers was hooked on drugs and everything. And they did whatever they had to do to support their habits, right? And they brought the drugs into the white people. They brought the drugs in, you know. You had a scattering of blacks and Latinos who was actually shakers and movers in the drug game. But then, when you really look at it, you wasn't even a shaker and mover. The cracker controlled it.
Yes.
You know. So, you know, like, it's so crazy. And I sit down sometimes and I try and think, where the hell, when did the prison system become predominantly black? When they figured out it was big business.
Thank you.
It costs
Yes.
$83,000 a year to house a man in the state of New York. So are they telling us that we can't train somebody for whatever work they want to do? Start them out with $50,000 a year. The state would still save $33,000, right? But it's big business. Because now we make clothing, furniture, everything in jail.
Yes.
It's not just license plates.
Thank you.
It's core craft
Everything.
that we support these communities of state, right? That actually live below the poverty level. Let me tell you how a jail is built in the state of New York. They say that we're getting ready to build a jail somewhere upstate. They bid on us. Oh, we can, if you put it here, we can do it for 40 million. And the next county comes and says, well, we can do it for 38. You know, so they bidding on us. And what happens is we end up creating a whole town, a whole economy for a county. You got grandfathers, fathers, wives, brothers, sisters working in this jail.
Yes.
You got generations of people
security
that works
for these
in
people.
these jails,
Yes.
you know. So it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, unlike him, all that violent shit in jail, I'm not with that. I found out a long time ago I am allergic to ass whooping. No, seriously, I'm dead serious. I am allergic
I'm
to
with
that.
I'm
You know
with
what? You know
And
what?
I've seen, look, this is no lie. I've seen the police hit a guy one time, I fell out. The cop said, what the hell you fall for? I'm just letting you know I can't take no hit like that, man. For real. You know, it's real shit, man. It's real shit. But you know, like, my thing has always been, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah, that's
They don't even have that commercial no more.
No, they used to have that. They used to have the Children Aid Society and all that, right? But they don't want that no more. They have geographically boxed us in. That I've met people who lived on 149th Street who said they didn't mess with the people from 148th Street.
I know.
That is is mathematically impossible. You done went to school with these people. Chances is you ate in their house and they ate in your house.
So what's causing this separation?
Hatred of self.
Yes.
Hatred of self, man. And this just didn't begin. This was indoctrinated. This was indoctrinated into us when the slave ships came. They taught us to hate each other. We people of color. That if you was to do that genealogy thing they do, that family tree thing, you know, Dr. L.S.B. Leakey and his wife, this is a world-renowned anthropologist. It's in the book, The Destruction of the Black Civilization, right? He said, I cannot lie. The blacks are the first to walk the planet Earth. That's right. Do you know in West Point they still trying to figure out how Hannibal got them damn elephants through them mountains? Wow. They still trying to figure this out, man. You know, there's nothing that we haven't done. We are the reason that they have heart surgery. It was a janitor who created the tool to show the doctor how to do heart surgery. There is a pamphlet that I suggest every family should have. It's called 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro by J.A. Rogers, right? And when you read it, some of the stuff in it is going to blow your mind.
And it's going to make you feel good.
It makes you feel good as a person.
Of course, as a
You're
black
talking
person.
about my people.
Yes.
My people.
Of course, it's time to uplift each other.
So when you take in that type of information, it can inspire you to break these chains that we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you know, you could go back to school after all that stuff that I was talking about in the prison.
Hold on, bro. You got to tell him about when the lawyer called us one day. Well, he called me and I said, hold on, I got to get my brother on the line, right? And the lawyer said, hey, T.A., why can't y'all help me get out of jail?
Don't say his name.
I'm not going to say his name. But it's just amazing.
Right.
You know, like I've had lawyers tell other lawyers, you see that guy right there? He know way more than I know. Because I read. They don't read. They take our money, they punch that computer button, and whatever case come up, bam, that's what goes in. I was in the court today, man, and I was at the hearing, right? But when it was recess, I went into some other courts just to see what's going on. And we got these young men running around here acting like they're gangsters, but they get in that courtroom. And I'm going to tell you something. They act like little children. They don't question the lawyers. They don't ask what's going on. And then the judge did something. And I'm sitting waiting on this. He said, do you understand? And he shook his head, yes. And I know damn well he didn't understand. He didn't understand. Yo, look, we didn't go to school to be lawyers. They took my life from me. But being that I had a taste of life at a young age, I wanted to be free. I know why the cage bird sings. Cage bird want to be free, right? Dudes used to look at, I used to wake up every morning, knock on the cell door, boom, boom. Dude said, what? I said, did y'all hear that shit? He said, heard what? I said, you just ain't hear them people say they gonna let me go today? I did it for 10 years, 9 months, 23 days, 17 hours, and 42 seconds.
Whoa.
But you heard people knocking on the door.
No, I heard them people say every damn day that they gonna let me go.
Oh, so you was hearing voices at an early age?
No, I was not hearing voices. I was believing
in yourself.
Me.
You were manifesting your freedom. You understand? That's right. As you should.
You know, I didn't know nothing. When the dude told me it's a key in that room that's gonna get you out. You know what I did? I went in there doing shit.
You're looking for my key. Where my key at?
The key. And then one day I stopped in the middle of the library and I just looked around. And every book got a key.
Oof.
Every book in any law library has a key on it. I started reading from book 1. Dude said, Terry, it's an old timer's game. I ain't got time for that shit. I'm going to read this book. You walk past some guys' cells and they laid out with short ice books. I'm laid out with the law books on my face, on my head, my chest, on the floor. And then I started sending people home, but I was scared to do my own papers.
So you said you wanted to be free.
I did, but still fear is something else.
There's no doubt
Right.
in the human being.
Right.
Like,
Just
can I
how
do this?
would
Can
you
I really
feel?
do this?
You done sent 30 people home and you can't get yourself out. Can't get. So the lawyer sent me a brief. I told him it's unacceptable. He said, "Oh no." I said, "It's unacceptable." He said, "You write the damn brief." I wrote the brief and sent it to him. Let's say he got it on a Tuesday. Wednesday he was on a visit. It's the best brief
I've ever read.
in my life.
Beautiful.
He walked into the appellate division. The judge told him, "Don't open your mouth. The case is won off the papers." That was 25 years ago, November 20th for this year. I came home. I tried to get back into hustling and everything, but because I done learned this stuff, it created critical and consequential thinking. I'm not the hustler I was no more because I know how much time I can get.
So you were scared
I
straight.
tried. You know.
No.
Damn right I was
Scared
scared.
straight. I
I'm
mean,
still scared straight.
Me too. So that's why I said it.
Damn, every time I ride with you, I'm scared straight. You know? But seriously, the law creates critical and consequential thinking.
So what's y'all saying in the law library?
If you knew better, you would do better.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. One time.
Hey, ya saben mi gente, estamos aquí activos. Este programa espero que se lo hayan disfrutado con nuestros invitados especiales, hablando de las leyes.
Estamos con T.A. y
Ykim.
Si ustedes tienen alguna pregunta, pueden llamar. También quiero que se sintonicen todos los viernes a la from 11 to 1, right?
From 11 to 1 on Fridays.
Todos los viernes de 11 a la 1 de la mañana aquí en Face the Reality Radio. Bueno, I have another question for you guys.
Go.
At what point in your life did you decide to teach law?
You want to take?
You go first.
Okay. Well, as I said to y'all, I came home, I tried to hustle again. I got busted in 2004 for possession of a weapon and drugs. And the lawyer said, "Hey man, they're gonna offer you life again." I said, "For what? I ain't did nothing." He said the cop went to the grand jury. I said, "Well, if he go to the grand jury, I gotta go to the grand jury." Cause see, if he goes and I don't go, it's a one-sided story. So he said, "Well, what are you gonna say?" I haven't the faintest idea. I walked in that room, and just let me say, the grand jury consists of 23 regular people. Not lawyers or nothing like that, regular people.
Ordinary citizens.
Ordinary citizens. And I walked in there, I looked around, and I saw this young lady, and she was focused on me. And I focused on her, and I started creating the story right then, right now. I made the whole story up. But see, I say this to y'all because it's serious. Because if it makes sense to you, it can make sense to somebody else. And I walked out that grand jury, March of 2005. I laid up 120 days, and you know, God blessed me when I came home and gave me a beautiful son. And I did 129 days. Out of all the time I've done in my life, those was the hardest 129 days.
Wow.
Because of my son. That's all I thought about was him. And I used that as a motivation factor to beat these people. And I got out, and the lawyer who helped me, he said, "I'll give you a job."
But let me ask you this. You went to the grand jury.
Yeah.
Why did you get out? Is what the they need to know? How did
Because no true bill was voted. It's called the true bill. See that it's either you're going to be indicted or no true bill was voted. So, you know, the DA got up there, tell us about this from 1975, from 82. I said, excuse me, sir. All that's on that paper is true. But what do that have to do with why we're here today? Just like you nodded, I looked around and all them people was nodding, and I used the Biggie slogan, y'all go get some weed, I got a story to tell. You know, and I told a story, and it worked. And I got out, and I helped 24, 25 other people go to the grand jury, and they walked.
So wait, let me get this straight. Is it mandatory or is it a right? I'm talking about the state of New York to appear before the grand jury. So as you said, it could be a two-sided story because we know the police gonna go in there.
The police is going in, but just let me say
the
this:
defendant have a right.
You have a right to go before a grand jury. In most other states, it's called a probable cause hearing. Right. In the state of New York, it's the grand jury, right?
But it's for the same purpose.
But check this out. You know what the lawyer gonna tell you?
No, you can't
Don't go before the grand jury.
Yeah.
Right.
But if I don't go, they're gonna indict me, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to jail once I get indicted. So why wouldn't I want to go?
Right.
Exactly. Why wouldn't I want to go?
And where we find this out in New York? CPL what?
That's in CPL 190. Just read the whole CPL 190.
Okay.
It governs everything about the grand jury.
Okay.
You know, and you don't have to take my word for it. Google it.
Right.
Google it. That's
So
what you gotta do. Smartphones is the best things that ever happened.
Hold on, wait. Before we. So you telling me this is a smartphone?
Yes.
If I throw this phone at that wall, will it know? Stop. When you stop. Oh, okay. So they know that smart.
It's smart. It's smart, bro. It's smart.
But for the information,
the information is at your fingertips.
Exactly. That's
That
what
if they would have had this when I went to school, I would have been an A+ student. I would have been like this. What'd you say, teacher? Okay. I know the answer. I know the answer. You know. So, you know. But just as I said to you before, this telephone can get you 20 minutes. You
That's
have
not
to.
what we're talking about.
But still, we on the telephone, so I just want to touch on it now.
Okay.
Quick, a little that.
Seriously. You have to be conscious of what you say on these telephones.
Yes, you have to.
You have to be. See,
Part of
Trust
my case,
me, I
part of
know.
my case, what you're gonna ask about state and federal. Part of my case was based on the phone call. I told you about the boy that said the 40 keys, whatever it was. But what is it? OCID, organized crime investigation.
yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
In New York, when I was in New York hustling, a friend of mine's phone was tapped, right? Now they got the warrant based on probable cause coming from a cooperator, aka rat, aka snitch. Right. So the gentleman said, "Well, Ykim, I'm coming to get you. I'll take you to the airport. I'll be there in 10 minutes." I said, "All right, I'll be ready." They turned that 10 minutes was turned into 10 keys.
Oh my God.
That was from New York. I ain't talking about the 40 in LA. So that was turned into 10 minutes to pick me up, go to the airport. Was turned to 10 minutes, that one part. I listened to it with the lawyer. I said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I said, "I don't see what they see. Where's 10 keys missing?" I hear 10 minutes. "Oh no, the federal government." Then we're gonna get you there. The federal government take that as an interpretation of drug lingo. Drug lingo.
You hear this shit, guys?
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, this is real shit, man. You know, and this is what I need to let the public know. 98% of all federal cases are made over the telephone.
And it's still
Over the telephone. You know, there's no such thing as a code. Because what they'll do is they'll put that agent up there, certify him as an expert. He'll say, "Oh, that means this, and this means that." There's case law that I have read where a guy told his friend, bring me a half a gallon of vanilla ice cream. He got 20 years in
Oh
prison.
my goodness.
He got 20
Vanilla
years
ice
in
cream was
prison.
white, cocaine,
Yeah,
a half a
that's
kilo.
just what they said. He was talking about a half a
And they
kilo.
got people that say are expert
And
at
they got people who say that, you know, in New Orleans, hey man, this is so valuable, right? It's so valuable because I listen to my son, I listen to his friends on how they talk, I listen to the young ladies. And there is some young ladies out there that's more dangerous than these little punk ass.
Yes.
I'm telling you, right? And I'd be like, do you know what you just said? He'd be, man, fuck that T. I'd be, nah, you going to jail. You going to jail. But our youth have no fear. They have no fear today.
in the beginning.
But of course,
Thank
no.
you.
When they on the
Thank
street,
you.
They don't get
don't pick 'em
fear
up like
until
that.
they go to jail.
Yeah,
That's when they
straighten that
get
shit
fear.
out.
No,
Facts.
listen.
Right.
They have no fear until they get arrested.
Till them cuffs come on.
I got a dude running around shooting people. He got busted. You sure you can't get me out, man? Take the 7 years and go ahead and change your life, man. You done did a bunch of shit. I don't want to go to jail, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because they actually think they can do this with no consequences, man. Yo, like, I got a friend, he got 45 years in prison right now.
Right.
He called me a couple of weeks ago and said the craziest shit. He
Don't say
said,
no name.
I don't think they're ever gonna let me go.
No, he said he found a piece of paper.
He said he
in
found
the
something that
roll
makes
file.
him feel that way, right?
Right.
And when people say stuff like that to me, I think about Jesse Jackson, the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Keep hope
Best
alive.
thing he ever said was keep hope alive.
Right.
Without hope, we have nothing.
Facts.
Let's go to
You
the
know.
next one.
Did we finish on that question?
Or did we change it around?
Oh no, I also wanted to touch on the program that you guys are doing, which is
The Law Library?
Yes, please.
That's every Friday from 11 to 1 p.m.
Oh, PM. Tune in, guys,
Yeah,
please.
tune in because we want to teach you something.
To Face the Reality Radio.
Yeah, and it's at Polo Studio. Is there any other information that I got to get them? Because I want them to tune
Oh, do
in.
you guys have any social media?
Yes.
I do.
You do, so let us know where we can catch you on social media.
Yeah, this is Southside TA 118. But we also got the Law Library stuff that we're creating, right? Which my man Polo won't show me how to do that. 'Cause I don't know. Because I'm not tech savvy.
Oh, neither am I.
You know.
But we're here.
He is,
right,
though.
that's right.
He is, though.
You know,
No.
living the purpose.
brain.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, he's the brain, right?
Yeah, you can
he the
follow
brain.
the Law
I'm the brains,
Library
he's
on
the
YouTube
mouth.
as well.
Yeah.
They're gonna put up the episode on YouTube.
Right,
All
right.
Go ahead.
Oh, this episode here is going on?
Oh yeah.
course.
Okay, let me get makeup over here, please.
In here? Oh, I got it.
And he goes over there.
Yo, Anna, Juju, I really thank y'all for inviting us to come on. You know,
Let's hear the question first.
can I thank them first?
Yeah, thank us. Answer we did.
I just know
That's
what's gonna
how
happen.
old people act. That's how old people
I love it.
He's older than me now. He's older than me.
What, 9 months, something like that?
Nah, ain't no damn 9 months.
A
About
couple of hours.
22 years or something.
Yeah.
He goes
About
22
22
years.
Okay, we listen.
I
Go
want
ahead,
to
G.
know, can you explain to us the difference between the state and federal?
Okay.
State federal laws.
So let me start with the state and then you'll go to there. The state is statutory law that's created by legislators, right, of the state of New York, right? And they got books called the penal law and the CPL law, right?
You know what CPL
The CPL is criminal procedure law. The penal law, PL, and it tells you, like, if I get busted with a gun, it directs me where to go into the penal law. And then the criminal procedure law tells me there's certain procedures that the court must follow.
Steps they gotta take.
It's steps they got. And basically, the CPL is created for a lawyer. It's basically, look, this is your out right here. You know, if you use this here, right? If you put in a motion, right? Like you spoke about the 190, that's criminal procedure law. If you stay within the realm of this, then you'll find something that could possibly help you get out, right? And it's also something that I want to let the public know. There's nothing new under the sun. So whatever your mind think of, somebody done thought of that before. There's more losing cases than winning cases. The way to win a case is like finding a needle in the haystack. You know, but most people give up because it can be discouraging, right? You read, man, this don't help me. Sit that book down, take a day or two off, digest everything you done read. Okay, let me start all over again. You have to start. You remember I said keep hope alive. You know, I laid in themselves, and I need to let the public know I cried some nights. I wanted to see my mother, my grandmother. I lost my brother. I lost my grandfather. And I'm grateful. And this is not to sound callous or anything. I lost 2 people. But I know people who have lost their whole family. You gotta be thankful and grateful. I had life in prison. It's through Allah's grace and mercy that I'm here talking to y'all right now. I'm thankful. That's my niece right there, right? I tell you no lie when I tell you they came looking for me and him.
What?
They put a shotgun in her face. She was 11 years old.
And tell him what she said. Tell him.
She said, call my mother. Don't ask me shit.
That's right.
Call my mother. Don't ask me shit.
Yeah, that's right.
And like that comes from, well, I grew up around a lot of criminals. So we knew certain things. Don't talk to the police. And there's something else that I want to say, and then I'm going to give it to Ykim. When they read you your rights, you have the right to remain silent. And the very next thing they tell you, anything you say can and will be used against you. Why you open your goddamn mouth? And the man just told you that we're going to use it against you. And they need to know this because I'm dealing with cases today where they read the whole rights, the person sign it, and then the police say, you want a cigarette? You want a soda, a burger? You want to talk to us? And they say, yeah, let me tell y'all something about detectives.
Yeah,
Homicide detective, robbery detective. They have masters in psychology.
College, thank you. Talk about it.
You ain't my friend. I ain't got a damn thing to say. No, don't open that cell. I ain't going no damn way. You gotta let the youth know because they don't. I've had people tell me, I talked to the police for 12 hours. I gained them. Do you know how much information you gave up in 12 hours, man?
God damn, 12 hours talk to the police?
Yeah.
Shit, them
Yeah,
motherfuckers
you
talk
done
more than
gave
you.
up your whole life story, my life story. You done put me in shit I ain't got nothing to do with.
Yeah.
You know? But they think they smarter than us. You know,
Well,
I'm
you just said
60
they got-
years old. I'm 60 years old. You 17. You can't be smarter than me.
Oh,
But you can learn everything I got. So before you 60, man, you got a wealth of knowledge.
That's right.
You got a wealth of knowledge, man. Listen to the elders. Listen to the elders. Because they going to tell you some stuff. You know, I'm 60 and I'm just learning. Some of that stuff my grandmother told me, she knew what she was talking about. You know? Go ahead, bro.
This hand.
Yeah.
What part of the question was it?
Man, I don't know.
Federal.
Oh,
Federal.
The difference between
Yeah.
state and federal.
Well, actually, and similarly, federal law is enacted as well. Congress, the Senate, they go into session or whatever, and certain issues come up that they're dealing with. Like right now, they're beefing about this gun laws and all that. And the Supreme Court just did that crazy ass shit they did. But they have statutes, just like the states, individual states. But the difference, the primary difference between New York, any other state, Idaho, Texas, Florida, federal law governs all of these states, all 50 states. It's applicable in any state that you go to. When I told you about the boy said that plane was flying with all these kilos, so any one of them states, because the federal offense is, a lot of them is if you cross state line. But not to lose track, federal government, Congress and Senate on them, they go in session like he was talking about with New York, how they do it. And they get these issues in front of them, and they say, well, we're gonna make this law that if you take a 16-year-old girl across state lines, and I'm black and she's white, there's a law called the White Slave Act.
It's called the Mann Act.
Right, but
It's called
it's
the Mann Act.
the name of the title is the Mann Act. What they're talking about is the White Slave Act. So, pimping and pandering, going back and forth. So now, that was back in the days. I believe it's still on the book. But now, the kids was using laptops, computers. What's that? What's that? Backpage and all that. So, that case we worked on with that boy, they said he committed a crime on the George Washington Bridge. Because he was online. Online. So, we worked on that case. So, anything that crosses lines, telephones, credit cards, electronics, wire fraud, and all that. But most of it is based on what they call interstate commerce. You do something over here in New York.
That's what scamming is.
Yeah, that's considered that.
Yeah.
True. So, anything that crosses state lines or violates those statutes that they have on the books, like you can be sitting in your house and have a stack of $100 bills, $10,000 worth of $100 bills, and they come in there with a warrant saying that's counterfeit money. And you can stay right in your house. Somebody told him, oh, go in there, why can't got a stack of $100 bills and sell them for $25 each? That's a federal offense. Because what does it say right on the bill? The United States Treasury. So that's government automatically. When you go to an airport, and this is a possibility, if you go to an airport and somebody bump into you, right? You say, yo, why you keep bumping into me? They do it again. Boom, somebody like me might turn around 10 years ago, 30 years ago, and punch them in the face. But the airport is federal property.
All airports.
It's called federal enclave.
Yeah.
So any crime in that airport, your ass going to the feds. Unless the feds get together and say, this dumbass shit.
You see these Karens on these airplanes?
The what?
The Karens, that's what they call it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know, they be acting crazy.
Right.
That's a federal offense.
If you go in the bathroom and smoke a cigarette on the airplane,
That's a
your
federal
ass going.
offense.
Exactly.
Federal offense.
So the federal government has legal jurisdiction over all 50 states, but each individual state has a right to govern their individual state and the citizens that live in it.
You know what? There's something I want to touch on real
What's
quick.
that?
I can't think of the case right now, but the next time I come, I'm going to have it. That the New York State Constitution is stronger. The Fourth Amendment of the New York State Constitution
Get more
is
protection.
stronger than the federal government.
Wait, let me just say one thing before I forget. It just hit me. So, either or the New York State Constitution or the federal Constitution, they find ways to make exceptions when it comes to people of color.
You see?
They find ways. Oh, that don't apply right now. What you mean? I got a 4 minute be free from unreasonable searches. Oh, but you had a bulge in the back of your pants. I had a boy in federal prison, got 30 years, because he went to the bathroom at the bus station, Greyhound bus station, and he urinated in the urinal, and the agent was in there, said he was fumbling in his private areas, threw him up on the wall, and found a pack of crack, and he got 30 years for that. You know, so they make exceptions. Like, what? Hey, hold on. I thought I had a right to privacy. Why is you watching me playing with myself?
That's good.
And lo and behold, there was something there. So there was an exception. There are a couple of exceptions, but the federal government has legal jurisdiction in all 50 states, but each state has a right to govern individually on that. So, you know, in most states copy the federal government setup anyway. The senators, the congressmen, and all that, the same as the ones in Washington, and then they come up and make what's legal, what's not legal, things like that. So pretty much there's really no difference, if you ask me. 'Cause I've been locked up in both the state and
Because it's all made to trap us. That's why. Ain't no different.
yeah. What's next?
So I understand that you guys also have a program of Stop the Violence.
That's who I work for.
You work for?
I work for Life Camp,
Life Camp.
and it's about stop the violence and put the guns down. And Life Camp offers a variety of programs for the youth. You know, if you want to, say you want to learn how to cut hair, we'll put you in a program where you can learn how to
Will they
cut
pay
hair.
for it?
Life Camp.
Life Camp.
Life Camp. But see, and it's not just Life Camp. It's called CMS, right? Crisis Management System, right? Because we in a crisis, right?
Yes.
We really are, man, you know. And so these CMS sites that spread out all around the city, they spread out. And we get out and we in the streets talking to the youth, trying to change their mindset. Same way I told you, I beat the case for the young man. But as I was working with him, I had a chance to talk to him. And when he beat the case, he told me, he said, yo, I'm gonna make you proud. And I said, all right, man, I'm watching you. And 3 months later, he sent me a video. He rode his luggage into college.
Awesome. Yes, yes.
It's one of the proudest moments of my life because it shows my work right in front of me.
Yes.
You know, and like the youth feel as though don't nobody care, but I'm here to let them know me
We
and my
care.
brother care.
We care.
Y'all care,
Yes.
and there's hundreds of others like us. That's why we
Still
do
care.
the things we do.
Yes.
That's why we talk about what we talk about. Hey man, I don't want to see nobody. Jail is something I don't wish on my worst enemy. Right? You know, look, you got dudes today, young men of color, Latino, blacks, and they take on names of white people, right? I mean, what kind of
Wait, what you
nickname
said?
is that? They take on nicknames for white people.
Oh,
Dick Wolf. I said, shit, he right, Law and Order and all that
Yes.
type of shit.
That's why it sounded so
who
familiar.
the hell is Dick Wolf?
Yeah, you know, that's just a name I threw out there,
Oh,
right?
okay. Gotcha.
You know, but yo, like, we gotta get back to knowing the history of our communities and knowing what, and you know, I'm not glorifying that life of gangsterism or anything, right? But the gangsters in my community took care of the community.
Yes.
That when the old lady needed some food, she knew that she can go up there
Yes.
and see Pop Freeman or whoever, and he like, yeah. You know, whether you had to pay it back or not, the fact was you had some place to go get it.
Right.
You know, and that's what means something. You know, like we used to watch the youth run up and down the streets. Look, I ain't had no cell phone. When them damn street lights came on,
You have to
y'all,
go
I gotta
home.
start working my
Because
way
it takes
over
a
here,
village
man.
to raise a child.
It
For
truly
real.
does. Because we had Miss Williams, Miss Brown, Miss Grant,
Baby.
Miss Green, and so forth and so on. So when we came out of our homes, we represented our parents.
Yes.
We represented our last name. I can't do nothing on this block.
That's right.
Green, old Badillac gonna tell. So we went around the corner and did it. You know, but we represented our neighborhoods, man. You know, and that's what we got to get back to, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
No,
thank you. What a blessing.
Yeah, I would like to know, what advice would you give the youth?
The advice I give to the youth is take advantage of these programs that's available to you.
So where they would go to get, like...
Well, you know what, each Friday during the law library, that we're going to tell you where to go. But if you need somewhere to go right now, find the CMS site that's in your neighborhood, man. CMS stands for Crisis Management System. Those dudes who you see out there telling you stop the violence and put the guns down, they can direct you where to go.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Well, no, hold on, because I'm not logging on.
Okay.
I ain't finished.
All right.
When y'all gonna bring me back?
What, baby, you are welcome. Cafeconleche loves you guys. Of course, you are welcome anytime.
I love y'all too, and thanks for having me.
Good with Juju and Anno.
Got Mimi on the remix.